Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Huck. Today I'm going to be talking about the books that I'm planning to read during my winter break because I am finally off from school right now. I have mentioned many times on my channel, I'm sure, that I'm in grad school and I'm finally done with my semester. My classes are over, my last finals are turned in. I even turned in a whole bunch of stuff that's not like school related but just like other projects and things that I had to do. So I've tied up a lot of loose ends. So I'm off from school for about like a month and a half because my next semester doesn't start until like end of January, beginning of February. So I have a lot of time off from school. And then I also took off for the holidays from work. So I have like 2.5 weeks that I have no school and no work. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna pretty much just be a hermit. I'm gonna stay home, read my books, pet my dogs. That's gonna be most of it. But yeah, so I thought I'd tell you about what I'm going to be reading during that time because I'm hoping to get some good reading in. We'll see how this goes because sometimes I actually read less when I have more time just because I don't have so much structure, and sometimes like having structure and having to fit my reading in makes me read more. But I'm hoping that I will use this time well and get some good reading done because there are a lot of books that I want to read and I finally have time. So let's see, I have 4 books here that I'm planning to read. I'm actually just talking about my reading plans for like the first week that I'm off because that's how far ahead I want to plan, and then maybe I'll do like a midway check-in kind of video and talk about what I'm planning to read for the second half of my winter break. We'll see. But right now what I'm planning for the next week is that I want to read Once Upon an Enchanted Forest, which is an anthology of 10 short stories by different authors that are all fantasy romances set in magical forests. And I've talked about this book before just because I have been reading this for a while. Anthologies always take me a while to get through just because, you know, it's all the individual stories, so there isn't like one cohesive story that's like motivating me to keep reading the book. But I do want to finish this by the end of the year. I have found a couple of stories in this that I really liked, and then there have definitely been some ones that I really didn't like, but that's kind of how it goes with anthologies, that there are some hits and some misses. Right now, I'm a little over halfway through. I am about right there, so I have like this much more to read, and that's about 4 short stories, so it's not too many. So I'd like to finish this week if I can, if not, just definitely by the end of the year because I don't want to take it with me into the next year. Next, I have The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi. This is actually one that I'm going to be listening to as an audiobook. I have the physical book because my dad read this at the end of last year, beginning of this year, sometime around then. But he read this and then gave me his copy because he thought I would like it. He enjoyed this book. And so this is one that I had like known about, but I wasn't sure if I was going to read it. So I hadn't been planning to read it, but then I got a copy of it. So I was like, sure, I'll read it. You know, I'm sort of interested in it. It's a YA fantasy that is a heist story. I've heard some mixed things, but overall pretty positive about this. But since I wasn't initially sure if I really wanted to read this, I haven't gotten around to it for like almost a year. So I decided that I would do it as an audiobook. Then my main physical read that I'm reading right now is The Queens of Innisleer by Tessa Gratton. This is an adult high fantasy that is a retelling of Shakespeare's play King Lear, but this one focuses more on the 3 daughters and less on King Lear himself, which I think makes a big difference and makes it a much more interesting story. So this one I have been reading for a little while. I got about halfway through and I've really been loving it. It's a very like slow, dense book, but like I've really been enjoying it. I like slow, dense books. It's beautifully written. It has great atmosphere. I'm very like invested in these characters. So I'm really enjoying this, but then my reading of it really slowed down, mostly because it was the end of the semester and I just had so many things I was trying to like tie up before I went on vacation. So I had put this down for a couple of days. I haven't been reading it for a few days. So I kind of like got out of the habit of reading it, but I really want to get back into it because I was really loving it. And I'm hoping that I will finish this pretty soon because even though it is a like slow paced book and it is pretty densely written, I was like I was flying through it at the beginning because I was enjoying it so much. So I'm hoping that I can get back into this and finish it pretty quickly because I'm thinking I'm gonna keep liking it. So I'm gonna be finishing this soon, and then after I finish The Queens of Innis Lear, my next read is going to be Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. This is one that I've been talking about recently in a lot of videos because I am determined to finish this book by the end of the year. I really, really want to read it soon. I've been meaning to read it for a long time and been putting it off, and I think that I'm going to like it. There are just some things I'm like not sure about. But anyways, this is also adult high fantasy. It's also a retelling, but this is a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. Also, I have heard some mixed things about this, but mostly positive, and the complaints that most people have are that it is very slow paced. And we know I love slow paced books. Also, I feel like if I read this right after reading The Queens of Innis Lear, nothing is going to feel slow paced in comparison to this book. This is so slow. So yeah, what I'm hoping is that I will be able to finish this one pretty soon, and then I can spend the rest of the week reading Spinning Silver. So those are all of the books that I'm hoping to be reading in the next week. It's a little bit more ambitious of a weekly TBR than I would usually set for myself, but also I have a lot more time, so hopefully I will get through all of these books that I am planning to read. In addition to reading, I also want to catch up on some TV shows because I really don't watch a lot of TV or movies anymore. I used to watch probably a ridiculous amount of TV when I was in college, but since finding BookTube and getting back into reading, that's really changed. Most of my extra time, if I'm going to like be consuming media, is either reading books or watching BookTube videos now. So I'm very behind in like TV shows and stuff, which for the most part I'm okay with. But since I have time now, I thought I'd like watch some TV shows. Right now, I just started watching season 3 of Outlander. And this one I always have like kind of mixed feelings about Outlander. Like there are some parts that I find very engaging about it and I definitely can see why people love it. And then there are some parts that I just really don't care about what's happening in the show. So sometimes I skip over parts. But I want to finish season 3 of Outlander, and then I was also thinking of trying Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've never watched it before, but I keep seeing like scenes and quotes from it used in different like memes and stuff, and it just seems really funny. So I thought I would give that one a try. Of course, I'm also going to be filming more videos because I have a lot of like end of the year videos and end of the year wrap up and end of the year like TBR kind of videos that I want to be putting out at the end of December and through January. And then also I have a lot of book reviews that I've been meaning to film and I just haven't gotten around to. So I have a lot of stuff that I need to be filming. So those will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. And other than that, I only have like 2 actual plans that involve leaving my house. One of them is that on Monday, I think we're going to be doing book night for Hanukkah because Hanukkah is starting on Sunday, I think. The 22nd is the first night of Hanukkah. And then my family, we do like theme nights a lot of times for Hanukkah because there are 8 nights, so it's fun to do themes. And one of my favorites was always book night, which I think I've mentioned in other videos, but on book night, my mom would always give us like Barnes & Noble gift cards, and then we would all go to Barnes & Noble together and go book shopping together. So that was really fun. So I think on Monday night, my family's going to be doing that, and whoever of my siblings is able to come is gonna go. It may end up just being me and my parents because I'm the only one who's like really dedicated to like, yes, we have to do book night every year because it's important, you know? You gotta go book shopping. But that'll be fun no matter what. And then on, is it Tuesday? Christmas Eve. My family, we play music for a Christmas pageant. We don't celebrate Christmas, but you know, we're not busy on Christmas Eve, so there is a local like community that my mom's friend is a part of, and they put on a Christmas pageant every year, and so my family goes and plays music for their Christmas pageant. My mom like MCs the Christmas pageant and leads a lot of the carols. My dad plays piano for it, and I bring my harp, and I pretty much just play for the part where the angels, the little children dressed up as angels, are like walking down like the aisle up to the stage. So I just like play harp for the angels so that they can feel angelic. But yeah, so those are my only 2 plans that actually involve leaving the house. For the most part, I'm gonna be staying home and just enjoying like having time to read and film and hang out with my dogs and all of that. Very excited about it. If you're interested in following what I'm up to, you can always follow me on Instagram at badger.reads. I think the handle is always in the description below, and there's always a link to it down there too. But I am fairly active on my Instagram stories, so it's mostly just pictures of like whatever book I'm reading, pictures of my dogs, a lot of pictures of trees. So if you want to see, you know, what I'm reading, what I'm up to, you can always follow me on Instagram. But that is all for my winter break plans. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, and until next time, bye!